we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Google Pixel 6a. Now, this phone recently launched. It is a 5G phone. This particular one is 128 gigs of storage in the color charcoal. Let's go ahead and open it up. So in the box, you've got the phone. The outer exterior camera lens looks very familiar from the Pro and the regular 6. Looks like we have a fingerprint sensor going by this, which is really nice. USB-C indicating here your SIM card. Google, much like Apple, has never had an additional storage availability. So this is just your SIM card that's going to be in here, which activates it on the network. You have your volume up and down and your power button. No auxiliary port, similar to the other Pixels that are out. In the box, you get your USB-C to C cable with the very handy USB-A to C adapter, which this is very nice. If you do have a USB-A cable, you can simply plug this on the end and it turns it into a C. So say, for instance, you had one of these, but this was USB-A, just pop that on and now you're C to C. So I like that they still include that. It's got the Google Tensor. You have your SIM pin if you would ever need to pop out your SIM card. Literature in here from Google. Take this off. Very nice screen. See the thickness, that camera bezel, camera lens bezel sticking out. Not as much though as the Pro, and we'll get into the specs in a little bit. We're going to do a comparison between the 6 Pro, and now the 6a. Let's turn it on. Feel it vibrate. And there it is. You'll see the navigational bar down below. Your phone, your messages, your Google Chrome, your camera, YouTube, Photos, Gmail, Play Store, all the items that come with Google. If we were to scroll like this, you can see all the rest of the apps. Some of them are still loading on as it just powered up the phone. Of course, once you log in, any saved information tied to your Gmail will load as well. You have your settings in the phone. You have some different things you can do. So like your power button here, right? Obviously you turn that, hit once, double tap, and get back on the screen. If you hold it down, you can now do more things with Google. And you can even open up this, and you can do typing, and that's by holding down the power button. Get started. So you can sign in to basically create more of a seamless voice operation. Now, if you double tap the home button, 1, 2, it actually opens up your camera. In your camera, you have your video, you have different modes, panorama, photosphere, lens. Lens is really cool. You can actually search whatever is in the lens. I don't know if this will come up here. Let's see. Looks like it might be pulling up my table. But you get the idea. Text, translate. We just did a video on this with iPhone, how through the camera you can translate, and well, Google has it as well. So you can actually translate that, and you can turn it into whatever language you want. based on what you're searching for. So you have English, then you can change it from there. So say you are traveling in another country and you wanted to read something, you simply hold the camera lens up and then you can hit translate. Really cool feature. And then in the actual photo, you have different editing functions. You have suggestions, so you can enhance, dynamic, warm, cool, crop it, adjust, many different things there. Filters, you can mark up, you can clear it out, hit done, and then simply swipe the navigation bar to get out. Of course, you have YouTube, and in terms of sound, let's see.
Let me place you on hold. I'm about to do a video. Did you know that if you have an iPhone, you can actually...
Very good sound. Of course, you saw other avenues. When you click that, you have your bell, which then you can silent, you can vibrate. When you hit those three dots, it opens up in your settings, and then you can adjust your ring, alarm, your call, your media. You have different settings in here for that. You can actually edit your quick settings. You have battery saver. This does not have wireless charging, so you won't see a power share option like you do in the Pro and at regular 6. You can hit your settings there. Accessibility. Your captions, accessibility shortcuts, so a lot of different things you can do there. So Android version 12. Feels really good. It's got a good feel to it. I don't know if it had the Google squeeze. I know the other ones did. I don't know if really anyone uses it. You can actually do a talking where you can actually set up settings and have you tell the phone where to go without touching the phone. You can say open up YouTube, open up Gmail, compose email, send a message, call, all without touching the phone. That is an accessibility setting. But yeah, it feels really good. See how it looks in the profile. And size-wise, I have a iPhone 13 Pro. That's my daily. So of course I have a case on it, but it's going to be very similar in width as well. So this one would be your 13, your 13 Pro, your 12 Pro, your 12, and the 14 and 14 Pro is going to be the same size as well. So in a comparison of size, it's virtually the same. This is 6.1 inches diagonal on your Pixel. In terms of comparisons, looking at phone scoop, and I wanted to compare all three, the Pixel 6a to the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. So you have display size 6.1 inches in the 6a versus 6.4 in the 6, 6.7 in the Pixel 6 Pro. Your display resolution type, same in the 6a and 6, better in the 6 Pro. Your display refresh rate, 90 in the 6, 120 in the 6 Pro, only 60 in the 6a. Your battery, virtually the same with the 6. Your Pro is 5003. They all have the Google Tensor processor. Your RAM is 6 gigs, which is decent. I mean, again, this phone price is right around $500. It's a really good phone for what you get. 6 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs in the 6, 12 in the 6 Pro, 128 gigs internal storage. I believe in the 6 and the 6 Pro you can bump that up. I don't believe you can in the 6A. The main camera is at 12 megapixels versus 50 on the 6 and 6 Pro. Your wide camera's the same. The Pro has the telephoto lens, whereas the 6 and 6A does not. Weight-wise, 6.3 ounces, not a very heavy phone. The 6 at 7.3, the Pro at 7.41. They are running Android. They all have a barometer. They all have a flashlight. They are water resistant. The Pixel 6a is IPX7, whereas the 6 and 6 Pro is IPX8, so a little bit deeper there you can go. Of course, any electronics, I recommend no water at all, but that's just me. Yes, your Bluetooth, hearing aid compatible. Ultra wideband is only in the Pro. Wi-Fi, yes. Dual SIM, yes, although that depends on the carrier that you have, if it supports that or not. Stereo headphones, yes. Fast charging, yes. Wireless charging only in the 6 and 6 Pro. Call screening. Now, this is interesting because the 6 and 6 Pro has it. I thought it would be in all the Google phones. What that means is all the spam we get these days, yes, you can get something through your carrier, but Google has their own, to where if I called someone that had their screening on and I was not in their contacts, it would say something like, this party has their Google screening on. Please state your name and what you're calling about, and we'll pass it on. And they basically pass it on, and someone gets the message saying, this is Jon The Wireless Guy. Would you like to pick up? Oh, of course I want to pick that up. So, you know, they'll pick up that call. If not, then it goes to voicemail. Speakerphone. So I'm surprised that's not in the 6A. I thought that was basically within all Google phones. But it is a really good phone. Again, that price point, $500. It's a solid phone. Again, I can't really tell. I don't have a 6 in my hand. A 6 is a little bit bigger, but this actually feels good. What are your thoughts on the Google Pixel? Are you a Pixel fan now? Maybe have an older one, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. Did you have the 5A? What did you think about that versus this one here, the 6A? Think of the A, I guess, as the entry level, if you will, to the Pixel lineup. Not so much like when iPhone comes out in past years, they've done an S, which is like an off year. They do a little bit of things. This is more like your entry level Google. Samsung has their A series. So that's their entry level. I guess Google kind of adapted that, but again, I don't think there's really anything entry level about this. This is a really solid phone. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? As always, like, share, subscribe.